funny jokes like, well, I like your hat, and this person would go, oh.
Do you take the outfit in and get her to fit them?
No, the nails are the afterthought.
Ah, right. Who am I for? David Beckham.
Oh, I don't like him.
Do you?
No, I like Michael Owen.
Do you?
Yeah.
He would creep up on people, often from behind, always on the wide angle, always very close. And sometimes he would come up behind them and they would sort of sense over their shoulder that there was someone there, and they would whip round like this, and you would think sometimes that they were going to punch him, but he's very tall and he's always smiling, and he would always make some funny joke like, well, I like your hat, and this person would go, oh, do you? And he would get into a relationship with them, and all the sort of tension dissipated.
We should have champagne on a scuff bag. Yeah. How much have you won then?
I think to be an entrepreneur you have to be incredibly passionate, and I think that passion is attractive, whatever you're passionate about.
I've actually learnt something new myself just watching the way that Rankin puts photographs together. It might be worth, when you think about your business idea, try and photograph it. And actually he encapsulates an entrepreneur in one photograph. That's nice. Any junk's basically professionalised man and brand solution for clearing junk, any sort of junk from homes or businesses.
Holiday Nanny is a bespoke nanny company. We only provide nannies to go on holiday with families.
Superjam's a business I started when I was 14 years old after my grandmother taught me how to make jam using her secret recipes one afternoon.
That's brilliant. Normally photographing people whose faces are recognisable. So for me it was trying to find a way of making people that no one would know from Adam interested into who looked up photos. I kind of came up with my own brief, trying to get them to kind of do
It's kind of a sexual side to go into a relationship.
You would normally expect kind of
Which is up and downs. The up and downs, at the beginning of
The representation was spot on.
The essence of our business is we feel like we're riding high, we're on top of the world in terms of our marketplace, and hopefully the pictures that are being produced today really epitomise that.
Everything's a learning curve about being a small business. Everything you go through the next step, everything's new. So you just learn on the way, and it's great to be next to people that are so good in their industry.
There's not much glamour within a small startup organisation, and you're being photographed by a sort of world-renowned photographer.
You have to be
There's a lot of technology out there, but actually,
and I think that passion is attractive, whatever you're passionate about.
I've actually learnt something new myself just watching the way that Rankin puts photographs together. It might be worth, when you think about your business idea, try and photograph it. And actually he encapsulates an entrepreneur in one photograph. That's nice. Any junk's basically professionalised man and brand solution for clearing junk, any sort of junk from homes or businesses.
Holiday Nanny is a bespoke nanny company. We only provide nannies to go on holiday with families.
Superjam's a business I started when I was 14 years old after my grandmother taught me how to make jam using her secret recipes one afternoon.
That's brilliant. Normally photographing people whose faces are recognisable. So for me it was trying to find a way of making people that no one would know from Adam interested into who looked up photos. I kind of came up with my own brief, trying to get them to kind of do more humorous poses than you would normally expect kind of business people to do.
I thought Rankin was fantastic. The representation was spot on.
The essence of our business is we feel like we're riding high, we're on top of the world in terms of our marketplace, and hopefully the pictures pictures that have been produced today really, epitomise that.
Everything's a learning curve about being a small business. Everything you go through the next step, everything's new. So you just learn on the way, and it's great to be next to people that are so good in their industry.
There's not much glamour within a small startup organisation, and you're being photographed by a sort of world-renowned photographer.
There's a lot of technology out there that actually 10 years ago was extremely...
It's going to be an expanded and revised book, lots of product that we picked up in Argentina. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be great. It's not called Special for nothing. Is going to be much bigger and better, more trainers and more private collections. It'll be an expanded and revised book, lots of product that we picked up in Argentina. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be great. It's not called Special for nothing. A store on Fobert's Place. It was a screening and Q&A of a documentary that we shot in Argentina earlier this year, where we went searching for dead stock Adidas that formed the basis of some of the footwear and apparel pieces from the Special range.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's about some guys from Manchester, based on a gang from Manchester, a real story of two guys who were cousins. They come out of prison and they just get into a really beat. And I just have a good day. It's a bit crazy, a bit mad, but it's just a good thing. And I've always wanted to play around with those ideas, man, and have a laugh with it. And I think it's going to be a good experience.
Well, he's also modelled on the catwalk for designer Tommy Hill.
That you could have a career as an artist. I didn't really, even when I was at art school, I didn't think you could be an artist as such. I thought you'd have to get a job doing something else, or maybe it never really occurred to me. But I enjoyed the experience of being an art student. I guess I wasn't that successful as a student and wasn't really seen as perhaps one of the more talented ones, but I still really enjoyed being at art school. I enjoyed being an art student. I think it's what I always aspired to when I was younger. It's a nice thing to be. It's better than being a student of, I don't know, mathematics or something. Very earliest memories are of drawing pictures, drawing kind of stick men and stuff. I guess when I was about 6, I was probably the best at drawing dinosaurs in my entire school. That was probably the zenith of my craft skills when I was about 6. I guess I've always drawn in the way that I draw now. I think when I was in college, I just drew in sketchbooks and didn't really present that as part of my art. I thought that the finished artwork in the gallery had to be something a bit more substantial. So I made sculptural work and I made photographs of stuff that I made outside. When I left art school, I didn't really have the resources to make sculptural work and to make photography. So I just continued with making drawings, and then I figured that the way to present those drawings was to make books. So I felt like I could sort of say everything I wanted to say in a drawing, and I didn't really need to make any sculpture. So I sort of realised that it was kind of permissible to actually present a drawing, a scruffy drawing, like the ones that I made as a finished artwork in a gallery. So I was like, oh, I'm allowed to do that. Cool, I'll do that then.
Right, first it starts your name and what you do really.
Barney, graphic artist, living in Manchester.
Yeah, we just take as much time as you want, I think, questions but what does freedom of expression mean to you?
Freedom of expression, what does it mean to me? Freedom of expression. barriers, lack of, less barriers, freedom of expression, to be able to do, no constraints. I'm just thinking the wrong words at the moment because I'm just sat here doing like blank at the moment. It's just freedom of expression is really just be able to do whatever. No limits for me, no. Nothing stopping me. Nothing. Responsibilities, of course, yes. Responsibilities being. It depends in what context we speak of as regards for freedom of expression. In what context? What are we talking about, sort of? And why does this? No boundaries. Yeah. But I mean, freedom of expression. Now you obviously go into the whole criminal justice. I mean, what does that